Aqua avoided giving us an answer regarding Ruby's marriage proposal, so what can we conclude about their relationship from the latest chapter? Hey everyone, welcome back to yet again another Oshi No Ko video. These past 2 weeks in between chapters have felt like an eternity, especially with the cliffhanger regarding Ruby's marriage proposal, but we finally got some new content. Except Aqua kinda gave us a gut punch as he didn't really explain what happened after the proposal. We see Aqua and Ruby have made up and are a little more clingy than usual, but besides that, I didn't really feel like we got a true answer regarding their new relationship. But before I break that down, let's take a look at chapter 124 as a whole. The chapter begins with Ruby and Aqua sitting together on the couch, and I guess you could say that they're acting a bit weirder and more clingy than usual, especially considering that a couple chapters ago they weren't speaking to each other at all. Then we see Kana and Memcho walk in on them. Kana is absolutely flabbergasted and starts accusing Aqua and Ruby of being too clingy. Ruby tells Kana that they've made up from their previous fight and that their bond is now closer than ever, but Kana still doesn't think they should be this close and tells Aqua he should be more concerned, but then forgets of the extreme sister complex he has. Kana is about to break the two apart until Memcho steps in and has the exact opposite reaction, as her first thought is to take a picture for her Instagram. I can't lie, as a content creator myself, you gotta respect the hustle from Memcho. Fast forward and we now see Kana and Memcho walking together talking about the situation. I wish Aqua would have touched on Ruby and Aqua's situation a bit more, especially considering that the next chapter is most likely going to be centered around Miyako and Ichigo's reunion, so we probably will have to go another 2 weeks before we get a clear answer of what truly happened during Ruby's proposal. Going back to Kana and Memcho's talk, Kana is still upset about what she just saw, which is totally acceptable, as I'm sure we all had the same reaction as manga readers, but Memcho has a different opinion on the matter, as she thinks it's good for Ruby to lean on someone, especially with all the work Ruby's had to deal with. But Kana still isn't satisfied, as she sees Aqua as Ruby's short-term fix for her mental health, and as Ruby continues to put on more work, her fighting spirit and her brother aren't going to be enough. Kana touches on the topic of burnout and overwork, but Memcho argues that Ruby's technically in her prime right now and should try to secure as many jobs as she can until she becomes a thing of the past. Then we get a classic Memcho moment as Kana brings up Ruby's schoolwork, which Memcho responds that she forgot all about school considering she's already 25, even though she plays the role of a high school girl. Now this is kind of the turning point of the chapter as we start to get into Miyako's conflicts of not knowing how to handle Ruby's schedule. Juggling the movie, her idol career, and other TV jobs, Miyako doesn't really know how to manage Ruby's time as she doesn't have any experience dealing with such an in-demand idol. When I was with Strawberry Productions, Miyako was simply just the president's wife who only helped with small jobs like babysitting Ruby and Aqua while I was out performing, so she struggled on how she should take on this job. And since Miyako has had to take care of Ruby and Aqua nearly their entire lives, she also considers Ruby as her own daughter and doesn't want to put too much stress into Ruby's life. Obviously she wants the best for Ruby and wants her to become the best entertainer she can be, but she also has to make sure her daughter's mental well-being is in the right place. She understands that idols' primes are short and that Ruby needs to take advantage of every job she can get, but she also doesn't know how much Ruby can take until Ruby breaks. As she's juggling all these things around, she breaks down mentally and wishes Ichigo was with her. Fast forwarding again, and now Miyako is at a bar. At first, it looks like Miyako is going to drink all her problems away, as that's normally what happens at a bar at 3:17 AM, but instead she orders a meal. Miyako gets into a conversation with the bartender about Aqua and Ruby, and Miyako tells him how hard it is connecting with the two as she isn't their biological mother and that they've never shown their true emotions around her. I'm sure it's hard for Miyako trying to fill that gap for Aqua and Ruby, but we all know that no one can replace I, as Aqua has made that clear to us many times. Miyako tells the bartender that she wants to help Ruby and Aqua as best she can and that she wished she wasn't the president of the company and would rather go back to just being the manager. But of course if she did, it would mean the company going to shambles. Then the chapter ends with Ichigo walking into the bar and he doesn't look too happy to see Miyako. Okay, so kind of a weird chapter as we start to drift farther and farther away from the movie arc. I was hoping to see more of Aqua and Ruby's interaction from chapter 123, but it looks like Aqua doesn't want to address it and wants us fans to keep talking about it. I've said this before, but I truly think that Aqua is just trolling with us and that this is just a publicity stunt to get more people talking about Oshi No Ko. But honestly, after this chapter, there's nothing I can really talk about regarding Ruby and Aqua's situation because there's really no clear indicators as to what really happened. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that Aqua accepted the proposal based on Ruby's emotions and how happy she is, but again, since we only got 6 pages on the topic, I can't really say too much about it. However, I can talk about what I think is going to happen next chapter with Miyako Miyako and Ichigo. Now I know Miyako is hoping to see Ichigo, but I'm telling you right now, there's no way this is going to be a fairy tale reunion. I 100% expect Miyako to go off on Ichigo, especially with how late it is in Miyako's current mood. I wouldn't be surprised if Miyako just starts unleashing all her anger on him. I mean, let's revisit on how Miyako was before she took in Ruby and Aqua. When she married Ichigo, she expected to live a luxurious, easygoing life and was not expecting to have to take in 2 children along with a dying production business, all because Ichigo couldn't get over Ai's death. Now I understand how close Ichigo was to Ai, but to leave Miyako to fend all on her own, it must have been super tough and frustrating for Miyako. Keep in mind, this is the same lady who was going to leak Ai's secret because she was sick of babysitting Ruby and Aqua for a mere 2 days. Of course Miyako is going to be heated at Ichigo for abandoning his responsibilities and making Miyako deal with them for 10 plus years. But I can also see Miyako being so tired to do anything and just accepts her fate of running into Ichigo and instead takes the opportunity to try and get some guidance for Ruby's schedule. Now I hope this doesn't happen because it would be kind of boring, but if I'm being realistic here, we're probably going to get a mix of the 2 scenarios. But how do you think Miyako will react, and what do you think Akka will do about Aqua and Ruby? And is Akka just trolling us, or does he just not care about Oshi No Ko anymore and wants to start on his next project, Renai Daiko? While you think about these questions, again, I thank you for watching this video. As always, chapter 25 releases July 7th, so make sure you read it so you don't get spoiled. Go ahead and like this video if you enjoyed it, sub if you haven't already, as Road to 50k starts now, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.